Hi, I'm Kit Noonan.
And I'm Kaylin Serena Stanton. We're certified coaches and best friends from different generations who aim to simplify wellness. SoulFull Wellness is a personal evolution podcast and community that embraces living well your way. No trends, diets, or one-size-fits-all advice here.
We share our personal and unfiltered experiences so you too can heal and experience your own wellness transformation.
Join us every Thursday as we embrace living from the soul.
Today is our very special first ever listener mail episode. We need a sting for that.
Yeah.
Unrehearsed and off the cuff. Get ready for some honest answers to your questions.
Let's go. Thank you for tuning in to SoulFull Wellness. Thank you for subscribing. We love you so, so much. We're also running our gratitude giveaway. It's pretty much annual at this point. We are giving away a SoulFull Jade Roller to a random winner if you leave us a review on iTunes. I don't think you can leave us one on Spotify, unfortunately, but you can rate us, which we would much appreciate. You will have your name put in a drawing to win a SoulFull Jade Roller.
We always love getting messages from you. Sometimes you ask us really amazing, thought-provoking questions. Today, we've compiled some great listener questions, and we're going to do our best to give you our candid answers.
Yeah, no holding back today. We're trying to lean into all things authentic, even if they're ugly.
Yeah, we're putting ourselves on the spot here. I'll tell you a little about how this is going to work. And this is why we need to finish our studio and add the video component to this podcast, because you should see the whole setup here. We've printed little slips of paper with some of the questions that we think will not only help you get to know us on a more personal level, but also spark thinking or even discussion in your own life. So, Kaylin, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take turns.
Okay.
You go first. You're going to pick a card and you're going to read it out loud. And then you get to choose to answer it or pass it to me, in which case, obviously, I answer. And then it'll be my turn to pick and read and choose.
Okay,
so
spicy.
Truly on the spot here.
Yeah.
We have not read them recently and do not have any notes or organized thoughts prepared. This is us.
So first.
Raw and unfiltered in the moment.
Oh,
why not? We're feeling bold. All right, you pick, you read, you choose.
Okay. And intuitively picking this card. All right, the question says, who would you like to forgive in your life? What is stopping you from doing so? I'm picking you, Kit.
Okay. My answer is myself. I am the person I need to forgive. I can honestly say I have forgiven from my heart, maybe not verbally to them, but I have in my heart forgiven anyone who has, in my perception, wronged me, except me. I still beat myself up too much. I still have times when I speak unkindly to myself, and I've still have things that I realize I've done, but that I deserve forgiveness for. That's who I was then. That's not who I am now. But in weak moments or dark moments, I still beat myself up about some things that I really need to have a little heart to heart with myself, name them, be specific, and say, I forgive you for this, I forgive you for this, and then truly just move on and not use them as my pocket ammo when I am in one of those moments of not feeling well.
This is all in divine timing, I feel like, because I was actually just reading something today that said that invited us to make friends with our present self, our past self, and our future self. And I heard you say, who you once were isn't who you are now, which is wonderful and beautiful. It obviously is a testament to your transformation. But I invite you to greet and appreciate that past version of yourself, because your today self wouldn't be here without her.
Absolutely. And in moments of health and wellness, I know that. And I mostly forgive past me, but obviously not fully, which is what I need to do, because if I fully did, I wouldn't rehash it. You don't forgive someone else for something, but then bring it up as ammunition in a fight. So I need that for myself.
The follow-up question is, what is stopping you from doing so?
Habit. Just years and years of recycling the same material. I go to it because I know it's effective. It's like when you know somebody's weakness and for whatever reason you just want to lash out and hurt them, so you know the thing to bring up. It's that for me. I know the things that I'm going to go, you're right, you're a shit human sometimes. You shouldn't have ever done that or said that. And I know it's going to work. And it's silly. We're just recycling really, and this is really old material,
old script. It's a script in your head. Yeah. We all have them.
But it's the script at this point is engraved. And that's the hard part. That's what makes it so hard to just move on from it.
So if we think about that metaphor literally, if something is engraved, how do we reshape it? Like how does it take a new form? Like how do we change it?
I guess I need to resurface. However that looks. Is it filling in the carved out parts with new ammunition, like combating it and saying, look, if you have to go back 20 years to pinpoint a behavior you weren't proud of, like, that's pretty good. Let's look at the past 20 years where you don't have anything to beat yourself up about. Like, that's a win.
For sure.
And then just old history is old history. I'm not erasing it, but I am forgiving and moving on. That's the need.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. You're not erasing, you're forgiving.
I think I probably need some kind of ceremony around it too. Ooh. Like it needs to have some degree of formality at this point, just because it is so entrenched.
Well, I am so down to facilitate. I'm picturing a bonfire kit.
That's what we need to do. We talked about doing and we never followed through on. Maybe that's what it would take for me to actually painstakingly write out in detail what exactly it is I'm forgiving myself for. Verbally release it, put it on the fire, and watch it go up.
Oh, for sure. I mean, fire rituals are known to be healing. I mean, JC and I are looking at fire pits, and this is now our motivator to really
christen the fire pit with a little healing energy.
Yes, exactly.
Ceremony. All right, we're never going to get through all these questions at this rate. Okay, I'm picking.
Okay,
this says, how would you describe your stress management style? I'm going to try to be honest because I'm always going to want to pass, obviously, and then sometimes I have to answer, but I feel like I just gave a really in-depth answer, so I'm going to allow myself to pass this one. How would you describe your stress management style, Kaylin?
I think my stress management style is, through my grief journey that I'm learning and have just learned in actually the past year, I would say is two things that are opposite can coexist at the same time, especially feelings. So I would say my stress management style is, I don't think I'm good at stress management. So I don't even know how I would categorize my style. On one hand, I like to get quiet and introspective, tap into my intuition, have like really spiritual days where I go on long walks in the woods. I've been doing that every day since my mom passed away. I've been taking Wally on like hour-long walks and putting myself into nature. And then on the other hand, at night, I get to a point where I need to numb. I need to shut down with television and other things.
Okay. So basically, we don't have a concrete, like a one-word answer, but that your answer shows that it's not for lack of trying, that you look within, and sometimes there just isn't a nice, succinct, catchy phrase to describe something, much as you might wish there were.
I certainly do. And like, I do think I really I feel insecure about my lack of stress management sometimes because it isn't for lack of trying. I feel like I've tried everything. Like since my mom has died, I've tried to move through this trauma and it is just stuck. I've done talk therapy. I'm doing that consistently. I'm going on walks. I'm moving my body. I'm meditating. I'm getting massages. I am trying new forms of modalities of therapy like craniosacral therapy. And yet I mean, sometimes I scream into my pillow. Sometimes I just yell and scream and cry. But at the end of the day, I'm stressed.
Okay, so I'm going to put on like a little marketing hat here and say if I were doing PR for your stress management style, listening to what you said, but trying to give it a positive, not a positive spin because it's not a spin, I might say your style is reflective and responsive.
Yes. Yeah. I like that.
Reflective and responsive stress management
I'm
style.
like the, is that, what's the cookie that is like the black and white cookie?
Yes,
I'm
those
just
New York cookies.
Yeah, or I'm like a macaron.
And who
so
doesn't
tasty.
love one?
And they crumble, right? So I'm crumbly right now, you guys. But they're tasty and delicate. Okay.
I was thinking delicate.
I'm delicate and crumbly
very
right now.
Attractive.
Beautiful.
Everyone loves them at a party. You're a macaron.
I'm a macaron right now.
Hey, things could be worse.
All right, I'm picking one. The question is, what leisure time activities do you engage in to increase your energy and reduce stress?
We could shoot back and forth with this.
Okay.
Horseback riding.
Walking in nature.
Knitting.
Painting.
Baking.
Cooking.
Watching reality television.
Fine dining.
Doing this podcast.
Yoga.
Petting the pups.
I think that covers it.
Yeah, because on the one hand, we could just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think we covered enough areas to be representative of who we are. Okay, I am now picking a slip of paper that says, okay, this is a little tough. How is leisure activity different from work, chores, or obligations? And I am passing this.
Okay.
Letting myself pass this.
No, this is great. I like this one a lot. I think it's the difference between leisure activities and work obligations has to do with selfishness. And I think I want to make sure I'm clear on when I say selfish, it's not a negative thing. Self-care is not selfish. I think something that we do for leisure is something that brings us inner peace. I think it could be connection with others, but it's basically putting ourselves first. That's how I view it. I think work and obligations, our motivators are different. Our internal motivators are more for leisure, and our external motivators have to do with work and obligations.
Okay.
Like work doesn't have to be fun. Like work usually is not fun, but you're trying to yield a result, whether it's, career advancement or money. And obligations are not fun either. Like you don't want to unload the dishwasher, but you do it.
Yeah, I kind of think of the obligatory stuff as the stuff we do so that we get to do the stuff we choose, the leisure activities, the free pick stuff.
I think to simplify it, the fun stuff is the soulful stuff. It's really the living from the soul stuff. It's igniting our spirit, getting in touch with who we are and what we enjoy, and just living and being a human. Like being a human being, and work and obligations are being a human doing.
They're important though, because now I'm thinking, we have two boxes. We have the like good stuff box and the bad stuff box, like the way we're describing it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's accurate. I think if you only had a life of free choice leisure activities, I don't think that's a life. Mm-hmm. I think you need some of the other stuff. It's where you strike the balance. Is it 60-40? Is it 40-60? Is it something totally besides that?
Right. It's about structure and growth and action and challenges.
Making sure you have checks in all the boxes. Okay. I'm picking. Or are you picking?
I'm picking.
I've already lost track. How?
Oh, what characteristics do you most appreciate about your partner?
All right, JC.
I'll take this one. I could go on and on about this one. Okay, where to begin?
That's a good sign.
I really appreciate his partnership in general, his support, his understanding, his compassion, just always holding space for me and never judging me. It's such a safe space to be 1000% myself, my ugliest sides, my silliest sides, and he'll never judge me for it. And that is just such a beautiful gift in a spouse that I could ever dream of or hope for. And the support and understanding that I get, especially through grieving my mom and having a partner who's him, is just means everything to me. I just feel so lucky. So I would say that those are my favorite characteristics.
What do you think his answer to that question would be about you?
Ooh, I think for him, it's going to be, he finds me to be very caring. That's the compliment that I get a lot from him. So that's what I'm going for the answer. It wasn't like my favorite. I'm like, I'm caring. Like, I'm nice.
I'm sure there are other things, many other things he loves about you, but the fact that that's the one that he verbalizes most frequently shows what he values.
I'm going to flip it.
Okay.
What characteristics do you most appreciate about Doug?
That he is one of the most kind, considerate, and thoughtful human beings I've ever met. To me as his significant other, but also that's who he is in life. That's who he is to his friends, to his sister. It's uniformly who he is and how he shows up for people. Anyone who's ever been to our house knows you get fed and given drinks, probably alcoholic beverages, no matter what time of day, no matter what day of week, you at least get offered. He's like the consummate host, but that's because it's his love language. These small acts of service and showing that you're valued and respected and cared for as a person is who he is always, even if he's in a bad mood, even if it's a tough day. And I really admire how he thinks about and treats others.
We love you, Doug. We know you're listening. JC, you better tune in. So I want to also shoot back that question about what do you think is his most favorite characteristic about you?
Okay, way to make me sorry I thought of that question. That is a lot more challenging to answer.
Well, yeah, you're so hard on yourself. This is the perfect question.
Wow. I think he admires my level-headedness, the way I'm always calm, even if everything, I'm outwardly calm. Believe me, inward is a different thing. But what I present or what I show to other people is, even in the midst of chaos or whatever's happening, outwardly I'm calm, I'm rational, I'm thinking. He always says that I'm so smart, and it's not that I'm so smart, but I know what he means. He means,
you are so smart. You can't, guys. Oh my God, we love you.
Pulling a new card. That was tough. Okay. Who do you most like to talk with and seek advice from when you're stressed? I'm going to throw that one to you.
This one's easy.
Oh.
You.
Oh, thank you.
Who's my first call? Kit.
Who you gonna call?
And damn, am I lucky to have you. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely you. 100%. You're so calm, but you're also such a safe space for me. You hold space. You could talk to me for hours. You act like I'm the most important person and thing to you in that moment. And you flow with me. You're able to not take on my emotions, but like hold space. But then we can also ping pong back and forth with each other for hours and hours. But I always leave the conversation feeling less stressed. I feel like I've got tools in my pocket. I feel like I could take on the world.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
I feel like I need to just end here. Like,
Mic
it
drop.
doesn't get any better for me from here. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I'm just sitting here smiling. That is so sweet.
She has to put up with me because I've been very stressed. So
we're all allowed to have a time. And you're having a time. And I'm
quite the time.
Happy I can be here to support you in it because I love you.
I love you. All right, I'm picking a card. What types of events, situations, or problems steal sleep from you?
Oh my goodness. Are you taking it or passing it?
I mean, I'm going to have to pass it, especially because sleep has been such a thing for you.
My area. Okay. So my flip answer is what doesn't, but my real, okay, here we go, people. You asked. Finances. I spoke once, I think, in all the years we've been doing the podcast about my very confusing and unfounded and not healthy relationship with money and finances. Have tried to dive a little bit into why, haven't quite figured it out yet. You would think I had a very different upbringing than the upbringing I have if all you had to go on was my relationship with money. I worry about it so much. It keeps me up. It wakes me up. I guess the next biggest, which is kind of a distant second, would be, I'm going to get really philosophical here, but life's purpose.
Ooh.
And this is a newer one. The finances have pretty much been my whole life. Don't know why, but have. The older I get, not that I feel like I'm running out of time, but that it even occurred to me to think I might be running out of time kind of shows that the world is not my oyster anymore. I can't be anything I want to be. I'm very close to 55 years old. So thinking about, did I make all the right choices? Which, here's the anxiety, the what ifs, things that are just silly. They don't, why? Trust that I made good choices. What even are all the right choices? But trust that I made good choices, and I made and am making and will continue to make really good use of this one and only life that I have. But that's sort of the second big sleep depriver recycling topic of angst.
I feel like this is the most relatable thing ever, though. I feel like it's a pervasive worry that keeps many of us up at night, especially those with sleep problems. I mean, I can't watch anything space before bed, It's like, it's infinite. So many questions. What's going on? What is life? Why are we here? What is our purpose? So I feel like that's really relatable.
Yeah, you can't get the ADHD brain revved up at bedtime and think that that's going to go anywhere helpful.
We did things a little bit differently this week. It was fun for us. I hope it was fun for you guys and insightful. And we're so appreciative of your emails and reaching out. Don't forget to leave us a review for a chance to win a SoulFull Jade Roller. Thank you for joining us for an unconventional episode of SoulFull of Wellness. We are so appreciative to you for your support, for following this podcast, for reaching out via email. It's just so incredible to hear from you. And don't forget to leave us a review.
I really enjoyed just giving myself permission to be completely honest and not worry about how someone's going to criticize me or what somebody's going to say about my answers, because that's always a tiny bit in my head when we record, even though I do my best to not listen to that and just remember our platform is honesty, straightforwardness, pretty much bearing our souls. I kind of enjoyed today just no prep, off the cuff, saying what comes out of this brain.
I love it.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sending in amazing, thought-provoking questions. We love having you and look forward to seeing you again next week. Peace, love, and light.
Peace, love, and light. The SoulFull of Wellness hosts are certified health and wellness coaches. This podcast is intended to inform and entertain listeners on their wellness journey. This podcast is meant to enhance, not replace, listeners' care from doctors, therapists, or other medical providers.